many people need convincing around science going deep into food, because food is intimate. Food has tradition that's being passed on from generations to generation. And someone who's coming from a food family that owned a restaurant as a big foodie, for me, food is also tradition. But we also take a look at the world around us. We move differently. We work differently than 20, 50 years ago. We talk differently to each other. We promote, evolved values among each other. It's really unrealistic to expect that the food can and will remain as it used to be before, because there's an important thing happening. There's way more people who need to be fed than nature and animals' ability to produce food nutritiously and to be delicious and high quality for 10 billion people that this planet will host in 2050. When I came to San Francisco, I started doing meetups because I wanted to find a scientific co-founder. And at one of those meetups that was organized by the Good Food Institute, I think it was in the WeWork in Barcadero, there was an amazing lecture by Ryan Betancourt, a person that I've been following even when I was in Serbia, who ended up being investor in MeliBio. So Ryan Betancourt was speaking there, and I said, look, I can't miss, being there, talking, listening to this person and see who else shows up. And after Ryan's speech, there was a networking piece. I saw a bunch of people from UC Berkeley. I just approached and said, hi, can I join you for a conversation? They said, yes. I said, I'm Darko. I just came from Serbia. I'm looking to launch a sustainable bee-free honey company. I'm looking for a scientific co-founder. And the first person to respond to that was actually Aaron, my co-founder, who said, honey without bees, interesting but hard. And I said, yeah, that's why I'm in San Francisco. It's absolutely interesting, definitely hard, but absolutely possible, in my opinion. So we started with the precision fermentation piece, but the more we were working on that in early stage, we realized how it will take some time to scale precision fermentation. And in those early days, there wasn't as much as scale-up partners as there are today, and absolutely not a lot of biomanufacturing partners. And I started realizing as a non-scientific, a non-technical CEO that we might end up in a position that I would personally feel uncomfortable, which is being for way too long a scientific kind of a garage project. Because at that time, I started realizing that some of the companies might have been overfunded, that there's some sort of a food tech bubble that I didn't want us to get in from any kind of negative point of view. And I realized we have to do things differently. So after a long thinking and talking to some people, I convinced Aaron that we should start making samples that are focusing on the other part of the work, which is turning plants into something that looks like honey at least. Equivalent if Tesla made the Tesla tree first, Clover was able to be replicated almost entirely through plant science. It's a mainstream type of honey, and we really wanted to go after scale. In our future products, we're looking into all kinds of different types of honeys and bees products. There are over 300 types of honeys only. And as I mentioned, they have various applications. For us, scale comes first. And we're still open for niche markets, and we'll do those. Specialty honeys, some of those are even used in the pharma industry. But we wanted to go for the biggest impact milestone immediately. Out of that approach in making samples that started to become better and better with every batch of investor samples that we were making, until we were comfortable sharing those samples with some chefs, some Michelin star chefs, high-end chefs, that started actually telling us that this sample is actually starting to taste really good. Something like a standard Clover honey that exists in the food service or retail. I've read about venture capital. I've known its capabilities to be a launch pad for ideas to really take off. And I've really taken that opportunity, launching a company that's VC backed. But seeing people building businesses with real fundamentals from the get-go and being brought up in a part of the world where everything was scarce, food, water, peace, just that respect towards the capital that we raised, I believe helped us to become better stewards of it, to make our capital last longer, to be as efficient as possible, to question almost every spending decision. Food tech startups, their founders, their management teams, their boards are just not set for success in running manufacturing facilities. That is absolutely different story. And because of that insight, we essentially doing biology research, advancing the science, advancing the industry, but we partner with people that own facilities and have manufacturing capabilities and essentially using them scale quicker and cheaper. I just called it Aaron a few weeks ago. I just reminded him and I told him, hey, Aaron, do you remember that you're the first scientist that I ever spoke and we started a company? And now we're doing this for 4 years now and it's working and it's evolving and it's empowering both Aaron individually, myself individually, and most importantly, the team as a whole, so that we can really move fast, execute, bring new product into the market, and show that the food tech can be commercialized quickly and without hundreds of millions of dollars. So MeliBio wants to remain that technology company and science company, and Melody is our consumer-facing food brand slash division is going to be growing its presence through various channels and meet the consumers where they are.